I am not speaking about a thing, a technique, a how-to, or anything that we can conceptualize. Although concepts are needed for us to communicate at first, perhaps the closest way that I could say this is that what I am experiencing with doing and working with Karen Whalen and whole body focusing is life living itself. Life living as we come together as two living organisms, two living wholes. That's what I experience. It's just life living itself. It's kind of, it's not possible to really put it in a box. So any attempt now for me to share anything is obviously me trying to give it some little boxy structure so that I can share. When I first started working with Karen, I had so many preconceptions and my 1,000,001 techniques and spiritual paths and meditations and things that I've done for most of my adult life were always in there crowding, like, you know, my cup was too filled with that. It was just too filled with that for me to immediately, let me put it this way, wind up where I am right now in my current, and I'll say the word understanding, but it's not an understanding. And if I say experience, it's not even an experience. It's a living. It's a livingness that, try as we may, we're never going to be able to language it completely. But thank God that within the focusing community and with whole body focusing, we can begin to try to do just that, and how helpful it is, actually. So, if someone who's listening to this has never heard of focusing or whole body focusing, then this may seem very strange, and all I would say is that I'm sharing this because I know there's many other Yvonnes out there who were where I was some years ago, possibly even going through a dark night of the soul or a spiritual crisis or a deep change, whatever label we're going to put on these deep changes that's happening for all of us, really, on some level. I hope that you will take a moment to pause. And what I mean by pause is just stop, but not with the big effort. Just notice that even as I say that you can just breathe, and you didn't have to really think about it, that it was just there and it just comes naturally. It's just there. Life is just there, just living itself. For me, it's very exciting, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world, although it's not a thing. And yet it's also very scary because the ego wants to put things in boxes. The left brain wants to say, I got to have this, I got to that, what do I do next, what's the next step? All of that. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but if this is speaking to you as you're understanding or getting or feeling that there is something before that, beyond that, even those are words. I'm not going to say any more now because I don't want this to be long. I'm actually saying this as a movement that's just now come when I just got home, actually, from the health food store. A movement that's been coming for a while, and it's moved into me recording this, which I'm going to put on a YouTube video, and then I'm going to link this to the interview with Karen Whalen. And if this interests you at all, I mean, if something is moving in you, you know, you may have an intellectual curiosity, and that's fine. You know, that's probably how one of the pieces of how I started getting into this. Or maybe, your practices have been mostly with the mind. Nothing wrong with that. But we are more than a mind. What we are is all of this. And one of the things that I love the most about what they share with the whole body focusing is that there is a me. There is a me and all of me. What does that mean? I don't know. I really don't. But I know that it speaks to me to hear that. And that, you know, people will use different language. And some people say, well, it's the body and this and that. Well, it's all of it. And what is all of that? I don't know. Perhaps that's the most truthful thing I can say. But what I do know is that when I consider that there is an individuality here, right now, that has changed so much for me. Does that mean that the Buddhist way of seeing things with no self and all of that? I don't know about any of that. And I've worked it all. I've lived with it all. I can tell you this. I like what Eugene Ginlin says. Nobody can tell me I don't exist. And nobody can really tell me what that means. Because it's life living. And so maybe we can just tiptoe into listening to Karen. I had to share this. I wanted to share it. I've been wanting to share something for a while. I feel it's important because I feel that anything you read or whatever is all good. It's all good. But the flavor of what is coming here is really not speakable. But you may be able to feel. I hope that I've been able to speak from that place. From the place, which is a no place really, but is there arising, just life arising. I'm hoping that it was enough that if you are looking for some support, a companionship. I'm not talking about looking for a teacher or this or that. You know, that's all well and good too. But I'm talking about looking for a companionship in whatever you're going through. I feel you'll be very happy to listen to Karen's interview, which I'm linking down at the bottom of this little video digital thing that I just created. And, well, many blessings to whoever listens.